and helping them fix to the frame of the bed.
So the first thing we do is we put the halter on, and then we put there's a piece here when we first put them on that they're lying on. And we attach the straps for traction on, and then we lower that piece. So the traction in their head is what's holding them. And when we first go on, there were bars here that we put their hands on and Web roll their hands into the bars to make sure their hands aren't flopping around.
I don't know if you want to do the straps or not, but I have these.
Yeah, so so the straps go around their iliac crest, like this, one on each side, and then we tie it like this, kind of right near the greater trach. We tie it, and it's muslin, it's not the stockinette. And then we make another loop. And on the traction, there's a hook that goes in here and pulls on it. The one thing to remember is when you when we take these off, we finish the cast, we move them back to the bed, and we trim it out. We have to take this off to get them off. You have to cut it here, so then we can just, with the cast on, you can just pull this out. And you'll see that once we put the cast on. So Molly and I, if we tie it at the same level, it pulls the correct way. And then we just put.
Are you roll? Does somebody want to roll it on that side?
And so there's also, there's a mirror on the bed, so you can see. There's a mirror on the bed at the top, so you can see what you're doing.
Like underneath.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Like in Vegas, there's a mirror.
Right here, whenever
And then
they're ready.
and then these we put felt here because we're going to be pushing on the iliac crest.
We're gonna want to make we're gonna make sure your web roll has to be really tight, and we're gonna put and we need to come up really high. And Emily's gonna pull and do a strap just on the other side. And you got to pull really tight, almost like you're going to rip it.
You got to really pull down, because if not, relax for a minute, Emma. If you don't, and it's like this, this strap comes up around their neck, so you have to really pull it.
You want it folded?
That's how does it matter which way you do it? Okay.
So this, we start with 4-inch here, and then so we use 2 4-inch and then 1 3-inch, and on these we do. Are you using 2 inches or 3 inches?
I think I'm using 4, and then I go down, and then 3 for the plaster, and 2 for the fiberglass.
And then fold it.
Yeah.
Okay, so pull tight, really tight.
And so we start with, and that's.
You have roll still?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay. So we have to make sure we get this interlocked when you're rolling.
Okay.
So that way these stay down.
Just a little
So
bit.
Because if not, these.
So what we do is, I mean, you were rolling, we didn't stop you. What we do is just basically put one layer on to start.
Okay.
And then once they do that, then tie it in like this.
Because you need these really snug, so that way, because if not, once the cast is on and they rise up, then
The whole thing comes up. Okay.
Yeah.
The other key is no wrinkles.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the wrinkles are what causes skin problems. So you got to pull the web roll tight and make sure there are no wrinkles.
Okay.
So this is basically what it looks like. The first layer is plaster. The first layer is plaster because you can't mold fiberglass really well, and we want to be able to mold the cast. The second layer is fiberglass, because if we didn't put the fiberglass over the plaster, obviously the cast wouldn't last.
Okay. How many, like, do you do like one or like do you do like 2 rolls kind of
Yeah. Web roll, yeah. So you have to have enough web roll to protect the skin,
Okay.
but you don't want to use too much because then it makes it hard to mold the cast.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's kind of a fine line. Dr. Mehta actually didn't use web roll at all. She put stockinette on and rolled the plaster straight on the stockinette.
Okay.
And then she trimmed the thing with a cast knife while it was drying
Wow.
before she rolled the fiberglass on it.
Wow.
It's really pretty interesting.
Quite the artist.
Yeah. She's a pretty remarkable lady.
Said hers took though like 3 hours.
Oh God, putting the
And once you
doing
have one
this,
layer
putting on the
Can I
safety
start
pin
it here?
was a was literally half an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
Conductor stern will start at the bottom.
So the same thing, just roll one layer,
Okay.
When Megan
and
goes
then
to
they'll
come
get the
around, it should
straps.
be there.
And they just come down come down a
Smooth
little
side
bit,
to the neck.
Okay.
and then they'll roll the straps.
Okay.
We always do smooth side to the neck, and you're basically going right on top of your web roll. And you just want it to be really tight, and then Megan's going to come around and lock us in.
Should I wait till she's under there?
Yeah,
Okay.
go. Pull down really
And you got to
tight.
pull that plaster tight,
As
Megan.
we always say, you gotta pull tight,
Okay.
otherwise Tara has to go to the PACU.
Come up a little higher, Megan.
Yeah. So you'll be able to see in the mirror. The key is to get up as high as you can,
Okay.
especially in the back. Okay, Tara,
Perfect.
move your hand.
Yep.
And then, we're not gonna do it now, but then we put another 3-inch on just to make sure there's enough plaster and that it's solid everywhere.
Okay.
Well, once you're done rolling.
Do you want that? I've
No,
got
no, you're fine.
Okay.
What is it? I did too.
And then, what I'll do is do the correction. So the key for me is really molding the pelvis.
Okay.
So you really, really gotta mold the pelvis like this. And then the correction is a derotation. So I put my hand back, if the curve is going this way, I put my hand back here where the center of the curve is and put in my other hand here. And then somebody does just a really gentle counter traction there like Dr. Jones is doing. And then I push down with this hand and push up with this hand, and that's how we get our correction.
Okay.
And I just hold it until it sets up. And usually when we're done, and the reason we have to pat it up when we're done, never fingers on the cast, only heel.
Okay.
But after I push, you can actually feel the divot where I've been pushing once it sets up.
Okay.
Helps to also decrease the rib deformity
Okay.
as well. So with these curves, it's not just the spine that gets deformed, it's also the ribs that rotate. So this helps correct the rib deformity as well.
Okay.
Dr. Jones does not use straps, so he just wraps. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, not everybody, so she always used, I learned how to do it from Dr. Mehta actually. She always used straps, I always use straps. There are some people who don't use straps, it's
There's just too
big
many
with the parents, yeah.
I went up to Dayton, I didn't have like all
You
the
guys.
help. Stuff in the PACU and
I do it just because I find that you don't, the cast doesn't move around as much with the
Yeah.
straps, and it's easier to control the curve, which is why I always do the straps. But it's interesting, there are online parent groups, and there's always debates about straps or not straps. It's really pretty bizarre.
so now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with fiberglass.
Okay.
So, Emily, if you want to come get a strap.
Right here?
Oh, sorry. So usually you're going to use one bucket for
As well?
plaster and one bucket
Yeah.
for fiberglass.
Yeah,
so
for the
you're not,
fiberglass, really tight. You can
Okay.
pull that tight.
you have to go super, hold on, let me get under there. There you go. Go ahead. Now get that fiberglass, pull with some tension.
Okay.
And make sure that you are going up high enough in the back. Yep.
Okay.
To lock that in. Perfect. You need another 3.
Yes, please.
Dr. Sherm, do you want to?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh,
You don't have to, we're fine. We have
Okay.
plenty.
these kids gotta love it.
Making a little tweak up.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything you want me to change? Here's a, feel free to write on it.
Okay. And then now, once everything's set, then we move the kit back. And this is what I was talking about. So the way we take the web roll off, obviously.
Okay.
We hold the kid so they don't fall
It's
off.
okay.
And then you guys take a scissor and cut the strap inside the loop. And then, and now you can just pull
Both
it.
sides?
Now you can just pull it out.
Gotcha.
Right, and it just comes out of the cast. Then you go up, and once anesthesia's ready, you cut the ropes on the head halter, and then we just move the kid over. And then, do you have more?
Yep, sure do. Dr. Jones
The
has
same
some.
temperature water for the fiberglass and the,
Just use
Yeah, you can use a little so you want to use cold water for the fiberglass. You can use a little bit warmer for the plaster so it doesn't be quite so long to set up. So the thing with this is, so first of all, we obviously don't want it to cut into the axilla up here. So we trim this out here. I always kid, and Holly will tell you this, that I make marks and whoever's, you guys just trim it wherever you think it needs to be. This is just to make you feel. But we do that, and then we want the kid to tap. This isn't
That's the
working.
only reason.
Terry, you got another, you got like a real marker?
Yeah.
Like a real marker. I think the other important thing, guys,
Yeah,
is like
this is the
we
Sharpie.
do
This is
everything
good.
based
This
on
black
what
one
like
will work,
the
too.
attending in the room is telling us to do. Like, don't start doing things before someone tells you to do it, because this kid is in traction, under sedation, and like even anything. Just wait for your, a lot of things. Wait for your key, like when we're moving them and things
So
like that.
Okay.
As
we
well
obviously want
yeah.
the kid to be able to sit,
Yeah.
right? So we flex the legs up. I mean, the thing is, if the kid's going to be sitting, we're doing all this with them lying down. But we do it like this so they can sit, right? This one's a little high on this side. But to do it like this so they can flex their legs up and sit. And then we also want them to eat, which is always a good thing. So, but we also still want to control the curve. So we don't just make a huge cutout. We want them to eat and breathe. So we do this so they can breathe and eat, but we do it like this so we can still grab that bottom rib there.
As Molly was saying with the traction, when they had the wraps around the hip area, it's really important if you're the person adjusting that if it's Dr. Jones, Dr. Sturm, that you're having full eye contact with them. There's a lot going on in the room, and we want to make sure that anytime we're moving or adjusting anything, that our eyes are on that provider so they can directly tell us what we need to be doing, or if they're saying stop or slow down. Dr. Sturm uses his hands a lot. Dr. Jones is a little more verbal. So it's just really important that we're having that eye communication, that we're not just looking down and cranking.
Okay.
Okay? So just make sure that we're really doing that.
Okay.
And then what we would do is roll the kid over on the side. There you go. And obviously we want him to sit and poop, so the same thing. We trim it out back here. But then now, since I've pushed up, we would actually do it the other way. Since I've pushed up on this, we've pushed up on one side, so we want to let that rotation happen on the other side, right? So
sort of kind of
I
kept
pushed-
this one from coming up on this side.
yeah. So we pushed on this side, so what we want, we're gonna make a cutout on this side to let them expand into where we pushed up on the other side,
Rib can fall back.
right? So up on one side, so they wanna let them fall out on the other side, so we just make a little circular cutout like that on the other side.